trend pendant consolidation pattern, the chances of it going to the upside is greater than 50%, and this is what we've done. So could be fresh all-time highs incoming. Set your alerts. Anything above that 5,000. Hello, everybody. How the bloody hell are ya? I just wanted to recap. That was a video I did. When was that? I think it was the 28th of August. And just wanted to show you where we were at that time. And then look where we are now. Look at that, dude. Holy shit. Gold went spastic. Didn't it? Isn't it what? That is crazy. So, complete vindication. Totally played out the bullish pendant. Went up as high as $6,761. We've clearly had a correction, which was much needed. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Big red candle there. What's the percentage loss on that? From the open to close, it was down 5.15% in a single day. That's pretty wild. But still, $6,317.15. So nuts. How are we, everybody? Welcome to the Arabian Pleb. I'm Harrison. Don't know what number podcast this is or show, but glad to be back. Glad to be back, everyone. It's been a little while. I had a great trip in Canada, visiting my sister, and attending her wedding, and then hanging out with the family and meeting her husband's side of the family and all their beautiful Canadian friends. It was magnificent. It was really good. So, and a lot of time has passed. It's been 2 months, pretty much. 2 months? Yeah, nearly 2 months since I've done one of these. So, I thought I'd better pull my finger out and get into gear and get back on the train of doing shows more consistently. So there's been a lot going on. Heaps politically. It's intense, really. Just all the stuff that's going on in Gaza and the war in Ukraine continuing, Trump continuing all that despite saying he was going to end it in one day. What else? Charlie Kirk being assassinated. That was fucking confronting and horrific. So yeah, plenty to talk about. So I might, I'll just jump over to the Twitters, and I bookmark some things. Let's just have a look over there and see what there is to talk about. Here's a clip that seems to be somewhat of a admission, and from President Trump speaking in Israel. I don't know. It's weird with him. It's almost like some people think he's playing 4D chess and all that stuff. I don't subscribe to that, but maybe he's intentionally throwing Miriam Adelson under the bus. What seems more likely is just that he's a buffoon and can't contain some of the things that he says, and maybe just says the quiet part out loud without realizing in the moment that he probably shouldn't be saying some of these things. But let's cut over to it. Big DT, see what he's got to say.
Broken promises from many other American presidents. You know that. They kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I could think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got $60 billion in the bank. $60 billion. And I think she's saying no more. And she loves Israel, but she loves it, and they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the President of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in, and we would do. But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things.
I'm sorry. Him just saying there, they were very responsible for some of the stuff that he did, including the Golan Heights, including, well, he didn't say this, but he just said before, all thanks to Miriam, that he moved the US embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, essentially making it as Scott Horton would say, a foregone conclusion that there'll never be a Palestinian state. So he's just saying all this shit live, publicly. It's pretty wild. Let's continue.
This ever happened to Israel. Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country. She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say. We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She's a wonderful woman.
There you go. And getting her, saying it publicly that he thinks she loves Israel more. The fact that she said nothing, he thinks that she loves Israel more. Yeah. Stuff that most of us, anyone who's paying attention, who's got, just somewhat of an IQ, already knows this stuff. That these American Zionists, are more loyal to a foreign country than their own country that they were born in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What else have we got here?
I'm switching sides. Officially, now I support Palantir. You may say, Ashton, what changed? Do you not think that they're spying on us now and, essentially going to bring in the one world government? No, they probably are. I just want to be on the side of the people that have all the power in the world. So, there's two ways to change this world. One, you can change the world from the outside. And two, you can change the world from the inside. So in light of my new revelations that I've had, if I'm going to piss people off, we might as well just piss everybody off. I want to apologize to Joe Lonsdale. I was rude to you because I thought you were gatekeeping free energy through Commonwealth Fusion. And that's fine. Now, here's the reality. I get it, bro. I get it. There are too many primitives on this planet. They just simply cannot be given carte blanche, unlimited energy. They would destroy us all. So now I understand your perspective. So go ahead, please unblock me. I'm simping as hard as I can. I apologize for being rude to you. Please unblock me so that I can join the good guys, that are spying on everybody, that are rolling out fusion technology and fusion energy, because I want to be in the club. There we go. Guys.
Yeah, fuck this dude, man. Yeah, he's just a fucking dickhead. And I'm sick of him. Sick of his fucking crap. I don't even know, man. I feel like he's lost so much credibility. Ashton Forbes we're talking about here. He happily accepted going on Candace Owens podcast to talk about all his stuff that he's interested in with his physics and free energy stuff and whatever else. And then as soon as she's like questioning the narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination, because it's so obvious that the FBI's story does not add up at all. And then he just starts attacking her, and he's attacking anybody who's going against the FBI. Like, why would you believe that the FBI would lie? Like, he's saying shit like that. It's just like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. So fuck this guy. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on Ashton Forbes. Fuck him. I'm going to talk to Nick. We need to remove this prick from our fucking outro video, because fuck him, dude. And dude, like, just in case anyone's wondering why Candace is going so hardcore, like going full steam ahead, head first into this Charlie Kirk assassination investigation, is because they were clearly good friends. Like, Candace really loved Charlie and cherished her friendship with him, and it seems like vice versa. I was never a big Charlie Kirk fan. I think a lot of his arguments were stupid, but some of his arguments were really good when he was really taking a legit America first, position. But then when he would cuck for Israel and defend Israel at every turn and go on about how important it was for Christians in America to support Israel, that's when he like really lost me. And then some of his arguments were just like fucking stupid and they just weren't good arguments. But let's just watch this little video here. Like, this is just so you understand, Ashton, like, why Candace is doing what she's doing is because of like this friendship that she had with him, with Charlie Kirk, that is.
First question is actually really funny.
Okay.
Who is the better driver?
Okay, hold on a second.
No. I'm gonna answer this question. Actually, Charlie Kirk never lets me drive, so maybe he's sexist. He never lets me drive, and he's a horrible driver on top of it.
Hold on, I'm very, very good. Zero car accidents.
He never lets me drive.
I'm very benevolent, okay? This is my argument. I care so much for Candace Owens. I want her to be able to tweet uninterrupted of traffic patterns.
Ooh, nice spin. That's a very nice spin.
This is the spin stops here, okay? And I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, every time, it's not even a question. I just go right into the driver's seat.
He doesn't even ask me. I'm like, Charlie, I could drive. He's like, no. You're a woman.
No, because it's
never letting me
I
drive.
want to be very clear about this.
Bob,
I want to be very clear. I don't know if she's a good driver or a bad driver. I would never make that prejudice whatsoever. Instead, it is a man's role to protect the woman, right? And you protect them by being able to drive so that she can tweet uninterrupted. And I will attribute.
You get it, right? They're good friends, and like, fuck, dude. Like, if one of my good friends got assassinated publicly, like a public execution, I'd be wanting to do whatever I could to like find out who the fuck was responsible. I'd be doing whatever I could I'd leave no stone unturned, and I'd be doing my own investigation with the little resources that I have. I'd be talking to as many people as possible. I'd be questioning everything if I thought that there was any shadow of a doubt that the official narrative was bullshit. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. I support Candace doing her investigation. I think she's doing good work. Not saying she gets everything right, but she's having a crack, and it's because she fucking loved her friend that just got publicly executed. Here's another retarded fucking clip that Ashton Forbes is praising and just thinking that Marco Rubio is is just an incredible statesman and is Trump's apprentice, and he's going to be the next in line, and how great is this? Based on these comments that he makes right here, he's just like, oh my God, like, this guy's so fantastic. Fuck Ashton Forbes, dude. Fuck you. I'm just going to make that very public. I disavow this prick. I'd fucking want nothing to do with him. He can get fucked, man. Yeah, so anyway, check it out. Check it out.
Well, I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
Does it matter if it's in the United States?
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Could you do a strike in the United States, or if Northern
Well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going to be stopped. And that's what's happening. And in the case last week, you saw there was a submarine. It was a submarine. It was a submersible. That's a drug boat all the way through. We know what these boats are. The president just said it. We track them from the very beginning. We know who's on them, who they are, where they're coming from, what they have on them. If you're running drug boats, you're in grave danger. Well, I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are...
Based on what? Based on what? The government just says so. They're drug boats, so therefore we have carte blanche to just fucking bomb them with drones. This is fucking disgusting, dude. This is so fucked up. Very anti-American fucking, the presumption of innocence. You have a right to a trial, a fair trial, and a jury of your peers. And all. This is fucking just straight up totalitarian, psychopathic fucking schizos, just drone bombing boats and based on, well, we say they're drug dealers, therefore everyone deserves to die in a fucking fiery pit on an ocean. Yeah. And Ashton Forbes is just like, I don't know, fucking have a look at this shit. The Marco Rubio glow up should be studied. If you're running drug boats, you're in grave danger. And he's just like praising this shit. Like, fuck this cunt, man. He's a fucking dickhead. I don't trust nothing he says now. Anything that he ever said that was somewhat interesting about free energy is just in the toilet. Fuck that. I don't trust anything he says. So I haven't seen this clip yet. I'm about to watch it with everybody right now who's watching this show, which there's maybe 7 of you. But a lot of people on X are losing their fucking minds about this clip of Candace Owens. So let's just watch it and then I'll give my thoughts.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us. And we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
So everyone's losing their fucking mind over that because I guess essentially she's accusing the Trump administration of killing Charlie Kirk. And everyone's losing their fucking mind, dude. It's pretty wild. I've seen that clip go viral. So many big accounts are sharing it. And I'm really unhappy with Candace for that. And to that, I don't know. I would just say, like, I don't know, man. Pretty much what I was saying at the top of the show, that, like, Charlie was one of her good friends. It is very fucking evident. The footage of them together, they cared about each other deeply, as very, very good friends. And so just given that, I understand why she's questioning everything and trying to get to the bottom of it. And the FBI narrative being absolute obvious bullshit. then it just opens the door to like, well, like what are the other possibilities? And anyone who's trying to say that the Trump administration in some way or another couldn't have possibly been responsible for killing Charlie Kirk is a fucking idiot and is being very dishonest. Clearly, the US government is capable of assassinating people. They have a history of doing that. And so I don't think it's much of a stretch to think that they did that to Charlie. Now, what the motive would have been, why would have they wanted to kill Charlie Kirk, and why would they have possibly done that? Is I understand that it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense on the face of it, but if you scratch a couple layers deeper, there is motive there. If Charlie was serious about jumping ship and getting off the pro-Israel position and going to the anti-Israel position, especially in terms of their conduct of the slaughter in Gaza, who are a captive people. And you know, because Charlie being like the biggest supporter of Israel and the Trump administration from like a grassroots, a perspective, or you know, like he was really like Turning Point USA was all about getting young people to vote Republican and support Trump and Trump's policies of unconditional support for Israel. If that disappeared, then it's over. It's over for Israel. It already is over for Israel, in terms of public opinion, and then in the future, these young people that are so against them, they're going to be inheriting the world, you know, in 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They're going to be the people who are going to be in these positions of power in government and having such negative, having such a negative outlook on Israel. It's not hard to recognize that support may dry up and they just might cut all ties with the US and Israel. So, you know, it's not like there's no motive for the Trump administration to have done this. I don't know. I'm not claiming to know exactly what happened, but yeah, it's all very fascinating. And people attacking Candace is very interesting to me, and especially over this clip of her just like speaking very candidly and, you know, just, I suppose like asserting some things and whatnot, but she's leading the charge in this investigation. She's doing a far better job than any government official or the FBI, anybody. So it's not to say that like, so therefore she's right about everything, but she's probably closer to the truth than most other people looking at all this. Yeah. What's up? And then just look at this faggot. She went nuts. Did she get told to stop talking crazy? I hope so. He's such a fucking loser. He's such a little bitch. Ashton Forbes, you little weasel. I guess it's probably because I've like responded to some of Ashton Forbes like tweets and things like that, that now the algorithm's just like pushing them all to me. So I'm probably just going to have to block this guy because I just can't stand him. I can't stand seeing his shit, and I don't want to keep talking about him either. And the more I see his shit, the more I'm just going to want to talk about him. So yeah, going to have to block him. He's infuriating and so wrong on so many different things. All right, next part of the show, let's head over to antiwar.com, best website on the internet for keeping up to date with conflicts all around the world. So let's just go over there now. I'll read some of the headlines, and then if I find anything that's interesting, I will read the article. Venezuela, Trump suggests strikes on land soon. US bombs 9th alleged drug boat in Latin America. We better check this one out. And this is written by Dave DeCamp, 23rd of October, 2025, 3:20 p.m. U.S. bombs ninth alleged drug boat in Latin America. The U.S. has bombed yet another boat that is claimed, without providing evidence, was carrying drugs in the waters of Latin America, according to a statement from U.S. War Secretary Pete Hegseth. Hegseth announced the strike on Wednesday night and said that the vessel was targeted in the Eastern Pacific, making the second such strike in the area. Earlier in the day, he announced the first known U.S. bombing in the area, as the 7th previous strikes targeted boats in the Caribbean. Hegseth claimed that the boat was being operated by a designated terrorist organization and killed the 3 narco-terrorists, but provided nothing to back up his claims. The latest strike brings the total number of people extrajudicially executed by the U.S. military at sea to 37. And then is this a clip? Yeah, let's watch this clip. Oh, it's going to be dark, dude. Fucking hell. No evidence. Nothing to back up the claims. Just a claim of they're drug dealers and therefore they're terrorists and therefore we're bombing them and slaughtering them all, exploding them to death. It's dark, man. Video of the strike released by Hegseth himself. Fuck. What else? The Trump administration has used the term narco-terrorist to justify killing people for an alleged crime that is not punishable by death in the US. Hegseth has also made clear that the bombing campaign is an extension of the US war on terrorism. These strikes, quote, these strikes will continue day after day. These are not simple drug runners. These are narco-terrorists bringing death and destruction to our cities. These DTOs are the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere and will not escape justice. Even though America supports Al-Qaeda in Syria right now, Mohammed al-Jilani running Syria and Trump shaking hands with him, even though America supported Al-Qaeda in Libya, in Syria in 2014-15, supports them in Yemen. This is all just fucking bullshit, dude. This is all just absolute fucking bullshit, and really relies on the ignorance of the public, just, being ignorant of the fact that America supports Al-Qaeda when they feel like it, and has done many, many, many times over the years. Sorry, I lost I'll just go from this sentence here again. These DTOs are the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere and will not escape justice. We will find them and kill them until the threat of the American people is extinguished, end quote, he said. In several cases, family members have insisted that the victims were not drug traffickers, and Colombian President Gustavo Petro has accused the US of murder over a strike that killed a Colombian fisherman he said had, quote, no ties to the drug trade, end quote. In one strike, 2 survivors were found, including an Ecuadorian who was returned to his country and released by his government because there was no evidence he had committed a crime. US officials have been clear that the ultimate goal of the US military campaign in the Caribbean, which has involved a substantial buildup of US forces, is to carry out regime change in Venezuela. That sounds more like it. That sounds exactly what's fucking behind all this. President Trump has confirmed that he has authorized the CIA to take covert action inside Venezuela and suggested this week that US military strikes on Venezuelan territory could start soon. Sorry about that. I had to clear the pipes, as Dale would say, my good friend Dale. Dave DeCamp is the news editor of antiwar.com. Follow him on Twitter at Dave DeCamp. Okay. Netanyahu denies Israel is a protectorate of the US. That's clearly a lie. Yeah, I don't know. Let's click on that. What the fuck? How long have we been going? 29 minutes, 44 seconds. I might wrap it up soon. what do we got? Vance and Netanyahu deny that Israel is a protectorate state of the US. Vance is one of several high-level officials visiting Israel this week to discuss the Gaza ceasefire deal. Another article by Dave DeCamp. This was 2 days ago, 22nd of October, 4:36 p.m. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US Vice President J.D. Vance on Wednesday denied that Israel was a, quote, protectorate state, end quote, or a vassal, end quote, of the US after being questioned about the growing criticism of the US-Israel relationship and Israel's reliance on US military aid. Quote, well, I want to put it very clearly, 1 week they say that Israel controls the United States. A week later, they say that the United States controls Israel. This is hogwash, end quote, Netanyahu told reporters at his office in Jerusalem before holding a meeting with Vance. This is the thing that's like annoying, is because it's like, it's such a fucking, he's like making claims that people aren't necessarily making. He's like saying that people are saying this and then switching and saying that. I don't know. Like, I'm not seeing anyone who's saying Israel controls the US and then the next week saying the US controls Israel. I'm just seeing like some people saying Israel controls the US and other people saying the US controls Israel. It's not like the same person's flipping back and forth, which is the way that he's framing it. Okay. Quote, we have a partnership, an alliance of partners who share common values and common goals. We can have discussions, we can have disagreements here and there, but on the whole, I have to say that over the past year, we have had agreement, end quote, the Israeli leader said, or added. Addressing the question, Vance said, quote, we don't want a client state, and that's not what Israel is. We want a partnership. We want an ally here, end quote. The US Vice President also appeared to respond to the criticism of US monitoring the Gaza ceasefire and the slew of high-level US officials visiting Israel this week. US Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff and his advisor Jared Kushner were also in Israel this week. The Secretary of State Marco Rubio will make the trip on Friday. This is what's really fucking bizarre, dude. And this is what people are pointing at and just being like, what the fuck is this? The fact that so many US officials, like US government officials, the Congress and whoever else, and these people in Trump's cabinet are just constantly going to Israel. They're just constantly going over there and visiting and kissing the wall and crying and fucking just doing all this weird shit. And it's just like no other relationship that the US has. Like, the US doesn't go do this in Qatar or Egypt or Indonesia or Britain or France. They don't do that. But they always do it with Israel. And I think people are justified in being like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is going on here? Why is it that so many of our politicians just praise Israel? You've got Ted Cruz saying my number one, or something to this effect of like saying my number one reason for getting into the government was to be the biggest supporter of Israel. A guy from Texas. What the fuck is that, dude? Like, what is that? People want to know because it's so fucking bizarre. It's so bizarre. It is the weirdest fucking thing. And then naturally, like, it can only be one of two things. Either America has such control over Israel, or Israel has so much control over America. Hang on one sec. I gotta open that door, else my cats are gonna be pissed. Yeah, so what the fuck is that, dude? Like, what is this? It's just fucking ridiculous. It's too ridiculous. It's too fucking ridiculous, man. Quote, it's not about monitoring in the sense of, you monitor a toddler. It's about monitoring in the sense that there's a lot of work, a lot of good people who are doing that work, and it's important for the principals in the administration to keep on ensuring that our people are doing what we need them to do, end quote, Vance said. Righto, dude. There's a lot of fucking words there and not a lot really said. The New York Times reported on Wednesday that, according to several Trump officials, there is concern within the administration that Netanyahu may vacate the ceasefire deal, that the strategy is for... Sorry, let me start that again. There is concern within the administration that Netanyahu may vacate the ceasefire deal and that the strategy is for Vance, Kushner, and Witkoff to prevent him from restarting a full-scale bombing campaign in Gaza. Well, that's already fucking happened, dude. Like, they're already bombing the crap out of Gaza again and killing tens and tens and tens of more people each fucking day. The US military has established a monitoring center in southern Israel where it's expected to deploy about 200 troops. Fucking great. During his visit to Israel, Vance issued warnings to Hamas about violating the truce and hasn't raised Israel's repeated violations, which include attacks in Gaza that have killed at least 88 Palestinians and continued restrictions on aid. So Israel is now, because they got the remainder of their living hostages back, and now the other part of the deal is that Hamas has got to get the remains of any dead hostages, and because they haven't got them fast enough, which in the deal there was to be an allowance of time for Hamas to do this, because the dead hostages, they don't necessarily know exactly where they are, and they've got to go like digging through rubble to fucking find their remains. So it makes sense that you got to give them time. But then Israel's using that as an excuse, being like, "Oh, they're slow walking the remains of the dead hostages, therefore we're bombing the crap out of them again." It's just so fucking sick, dude. And then that's the end of that article. So yeah, I'm getting really worked up. I probably won't read too many more of these, but I'll read the headlines. Vance says Knesset vote on West Bank was a stupid political stunt. Palestinians in Gaza bury 54 unidentified bodies. ICJ rules Israel's ban on UNRWA aid blockade violate international law. Of course, Netanyahu puts architect of GHF in center overseeing Gaza aid. IDF expands number of military sites inside Syria. 3 Druze killed, 4 wounded in attack in Syria's Idlib province. US adds sanctions on Russian oil companies. So that war's not ending anytime soon. US bombs Somalia for 83rd time this year. The longest war in American history is the war in Somalia now. 20 plus years, longer than the war in Afghanistan. North Korea test fires multiple short-range missiles. Okay, so that's all the headlines at antiwar.com for you. I guess I'll leave it at that. It's good to be back. Sorry for getting so worked up at times, but yeah, it's just it's hard not to with some of this news that I'm reading and stuff that I'm seeing online. But always stay positive, everybody. Always have a positive outlook, even in these dark times. There's plenty to be grateful for. There's plenty to be happy about, and even the stuff that we're not happy about and that is really wrong in the world, we've just got to keep pushing forward and striving to correct it and to make things a lot better and try our best to make this world a better place for future generations. So yeah, it's good to be back. It's fantastic. As I said at the top of the show, I had a great trip in Canada. It was fantastic. I really didn't want to fucking leave, man. I was like, yeah, I see why my sister lives there, particularly the part of Canada where she lives. So she's in British Columbia, in the Rocky Mountains, so near like Revelstoke, in a place called Golden. It's about an hour and a half from Alberta, from Banff. And yeah, it's just fucking beautiful, dude. Like, I'll have to, I don't know, show you guys some photos of just the landscape and some of these mountains. It's incredible. But yeah, having said that I really didn't want to leave, once I did get back into Australia, I'm happy to be back. It's fantastic. Continue on with my life, get this house finished up. Really close now. Just had the floors done. Timber floors are all like sanded and then finished with whatever the fuck they finish it with. But it's looking really cool. I'm going to head over there shortly and just do some tinkering around, bits and pieces that I need to do. I'm hiring a mini digger tomorrow. Wish me luck. And I've got to dig a few trenches and a pit and whatever else. But yeah, I'm just going to rip in and fucking get it done. Because that's all I can do. It's all, I just have to do it, you know? Yeah, just have to do it. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to get back on the bandwagon. I'm going to keep doing these regularly. I'll try and do them, you know, try and go for at least an hour. This one's going to be a bit shorter, about 45 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever. But yeah, thanks everybody. Oh, please like, subscribe to the channel. Share it with a friend or a family member or whatever. If you like what I've got to say. And peace the fuck out, everybody. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely weekend. And I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.